Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation today with Erica and Sarah.
Yeah.
Now, having this extended trajectory or involvement with Serve, has Serve in particular sort of helped you understand something about God's character in a way that maybe not being in Serve wouldn't have helped? Or, just being in Serve, what have you learned about God's character?
Yeah, I think this year, more than most, kind of hit me during the year that we always talk about how when we're involved in Serve, like there's spiritual warfare going on, we're more at risk for that because we're doing God's work and there's all this going on, and then many years something will happen to someone on Serve or to their loved one, and someone's like, all right, like we're doing God's work, like we're being attacked, this is happening.
Yeah.
And this year, someone's friend passed away in a car accident back home, one of the leaders. And we prayed about it, and we were praying, and it just hit me that it wasn't God's work that did that, but it was Satan fighting because we were doing God's work. And I've had stuff in my past that has happened that has been like a tragic event, and it's been hard for me to deal with it. It's been hard for me to justify like why God would do this. And this year it really hit me that it wasn't God, it's Satan fighting his fight, and God can't protect us against everything. And I think that was like a really big realization I had this year, kind of about God's character, that he's there fighting, but there's another power too that's fighting.
All right.
So that was a huge one for me this year, which was really cool.
It sounds like your trust was strengthened through that.
Yeah, showing that it's God's there taking care of us, but there's Satan there working too, and he's bringing the bad in, and it's not God that let it happen, but it's Satan fighting his hardest to make it happen. And that was really cool for me to just realize, like, it's not God's work. It's us being attacked by another force. It's not God doing it. So that was kind of a good, like, realization, not realization because I knew that, but a good reassurance that that God's trust is there. So that was kind of big for me this year, I noticed.
Thanks. How about you, Erica? How about God's character? What has being part of Serve helped you understand?
I think just like the community of Serve, it's so easy to forget, like, God's working through you, God's working through me. But like when you see us accomplish these big things, then I'm like, whoa, this was not us, this was God, and he's here working amongst us. And that's one of my favorite parts about Serve, because it's just so evident throughout the week, especially now that I'm older and I've kind of caught on to that and I pay better attention. Like, it's really a big feat to host 130 people for a week. So that alone, and then setting up all the work sites. They go to a different work site every day. So they are going to 5 different work sites throughout the week. And there's like 20 groups that go to a work site every day. Wow. So getting all of those organized, all the people's lives that they're touching by going to those work sites, and the people who are at those work sites, they're touching their lives too. And then all the food that needs to get coordinated, and just everything, like, it just overwhelms me how, wow, we really pulled that off. Like, how did we do that? And then I'm like, well, we didn't really do that. Like, God did that. Like, a few small things that someone can contribute helps make this huge week happen. And even, people at LaGrave as well, it's been a great way to connect me to the church as a whole, just because I've been so heavily involved in youth group with my experience at LaGrave. But seeing like the volunteers who come to serve food, or who bring food, or who wash the towels, or who just donate things, like, we really wouldn't be able to do it without that. And so there's hundreds and hundreds of people who are a part of this week. And, at the end of the week, everybody goes back to their normal lives, and, but it still is like amazing, and people's lives are touched, and faith is strengthened, and like God has like showed himself to so many people. So I don't know if that's really God's character, but just how he works through all of us together. It's just been such a clear picture for me of like God's kingdom at work and what that can accomplish.
Yes.
Yeah.
So learn good stuff about God. How about what's something that you've learned about yourself because of either the joys or the challenges of being involved with Serve for so long?
Yeah. So when I was in high school and I kind of like got into the youth group, I think I was kind of like a firecracker a little bit. Like I was like, I have this idea, let's do this. And like
Erica was always at the front of the youth group.
The leaders were always like, okay, whatever, like do your thing. And so I like tried out a lot of ideas. Yeah. So like, do you remember one year we did like, there were like different teams and everybody made a flag.
Yeah, I was yellow team.
Yeah, and just stuff like, as a high schooler, I got to be like, I have this idea, let's try it. And sometimes it was really fun and sometimes it was horrible. Like, but it gave me that opportunity to like really grow my skills of like leadership.
Okay.
And then being in front of a crowd, like I'm quite comfortable in front of people or with public speaking. So I think Serve really helped me cultivate those things as a high schooler. And then now once I was an adult, same thing as Sarah. After high school, I was like, I do not want to be done with Serve, and there was a spot on the host team, so I took it.
Nice. Keep that going.
Yeah, and so I've definitely been able to, work on some like organizational skills and event planning skills that I have, and it gives me a way to use them as well, which is really fulfilling. You don't always get to use those skills in everyday mundane life, so I always look forward to Serve where I can be kind of crazy or lead a group game and also make a crazy spreadsheet. Like there's just so many different things.
Yeah. How about you, Sarah? Something that you've Service helped you kind of
learn
about
myself.
yourself. Yeah.
I don't know. I think service showed me that I truly like the community aspect. Like I like the fact that during Barnabas I got to know like my fellow high schoolers really well, and I kind of got to know some of the leaders really well. And now on host team, I'm staying connected to the church by getting to know these high schoolers. Like I see the high schoolers, and then I kind of know their parents by that because I see them and I say hi to them, and it showed me that in a church as big as the Grave, it's really good for me to have just a smaller community so that when I come, it feels like a small church, because I'll come and I'll see Erica, or I'll see Casey Quant, who was a leader once, or I'll see Aaron and Kate Faber, or I'll see the students, or Scott, who's now here, and it's just shown me that I love that small community aspect in a church like the Grave, because I've always known I want to stay at this church. And one of the biggest things bringing me back is that community, and coming in and seeing these people that I've hung out till 11 p.m. in the parlor with because we're on Serve, and we've gotten Yesterdog together, or we've been praying for an hour in the vault, or just having those people that I've experienced kind of different life things with that I otherwise would just be my fellow church member.
Right.
I think I really like that aspect of it and kind of need that in a church.
In a larger church, we all need those little smaller expressions of being the body of Christ together. I think that's really great.
Yeah.